clash today, Delhi versus Kolkata Knight Riders, and today we have a special guest from Zimbabwe. They are joining us for the show. Welcome to the cricket.com.
Thank you for having us on the program.
And today is going to be an interesting game. Delhi versus KKr. Delhi is in prime form. What you will say, bro?
Uh, Delhi, I think, is you're like what you're saying. They're in prime form. I think if there was ever a time for you to want to face Kolkata, you're playing them on the back of them losing a record run chase from Punjab. And Punjab, who, let's be honest with ourselves, up to this point, they're one of the worst teams. So I think this is a prime opportunity for them to come out and make a statement. Because the gap in the table is just so big right now. I don't know, four teams that are all on 8 points, and another couple of teams on the bottom that are all on the equal points. So it's a prime opportunity for Delhi. And Kolkata, they're looking their wounds. They'll probably be favorites in some people's eyes, but I would like to support Delhi in this situation because I think, given what I've seen from them lately, they're starting to find the winning combination, and I think that'll be the difference.
So let's ask from the beautiful lady, looking butterfly today. So
I'm a
let's.
tiny little butterfly today. But you know what's funny? And as much as we want to say Kolkata is the favorite in anything, in everything, the points table, two teams are the same because they're both sitting on 10 points. So whether someone has more form than the other one, at this point, it really doesn't matter because these two teams, same number of points. The only thing separating them is net run rate. So if you to look at how Delhi Capitals has been performing of late, it's been quite exceptional. Even for the games that they lost, you would see that they lost with a very small margin. They haven't lost with 78 runs, for example, like yesterday. They haven't lost with 8 wickets again. So the small margins show you that in as much as they're a team of youngsters, they are all pushing for something better for themselves and for the team. As for Kolkata, Kolkata is the opposite of Delhi Capitals. They have seniors in their team. And what do we expect from seniors? Experience, more knowledge of their pitch, the pitch conditions, their home, and they just have more experience than Delhi Capitals. So they go in as favorites on that note, not on a very different note on points table club. No. They just go because their squad has more experience and maybe in terms of bowling, they also have spinners that are capable of taking wickets with the lower economy.
Okay, so KKR going into the game as a favorites, as suggested by her. So today in today's game, whom you are supporting today, Delhi or KKR?
I'm gonna go with Delhi because I'm sorry. No, maybe she's going to agree with me.
I wanted to go for Delhi,
You want
so
to
you
go
are
for
supposed
Delhi?
to oppose me.
No, there's always room for agreement on the show. But I think, in a way, David Warner's injury has kind of shown us a little bit of a fire starter, if you will, a McGurk moving into that start. I think my worry with them initially was that she spoke about experience. The likes of Sunil Narine, they do damage in the power play, and it shows in the statistics that they are the fourth best team in the power play with Narine and Salt. But then McGurk now, if you're looking just in those power play overs, right, overs 0 to 6, he's now entered into the top 10, but he's only played 5 games. And mind you, he's only about 30 something runs off of Narine, who's Kolkata's top player, but he's played 3 whole games less than him. So I think that to me is going to be the X factor. How these teams feel each other out in the power play because in a way they're very top heavy. A lot of their runs come early on in the innings, and then of course middle overs dips before they start picking up the run rate towards the end of the game. But me personally, I'm thinking that Delhi Capitals, especially considering right number 5, we've got Captain Rishpat Pant. Um, he's also on top form, and I think there's a stark difference right now because if you look at Kolkata, the likes of Aya coming in sort of in the same position that Pant does, but then the difference here is the strike rate and the urgency that Delhi Capital in that middle order versus Kolkata. That has been the difference these last few games. So if that trend continues, I think Delhi is probably going to take this. But sorry to disappoint you, but I'm with Delhi today.
So he is supporting Delhi today. आज दिल्ली को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं और उन्होंने बताया कि डेविड वार्नर की इंजरी जरूर एक कंसर्न है. उसके बाद जो ऑस्ट्रेलियन आए हैं मैकगर्क उन्होंने एक जो परफॉर्मेंस दी है, इट्स गोइंग मतलब माइंड ब्लोइंग परफॉर्मेंस बाय द ऑस्ट्रेलियन. So coming to you, so you are supporting Lee also, or you are going to disagree with him?
Well, for the sake of this show, I would definitely disagree with him. But obviously, the heart is with him. You see how sometimes we say the heart is with Virat Kohli, but we're supporting the other team? That's what's happening right now. The heart is definitely with Delhi, but well, because he's supporting Delhi, I can't support Delhi. So I'm gonna go for Kolkata. Why Kolkata? Because I mean they're coming from a major humiliating loss. It wasn't just a normal loss; it was humiliating. Why? Because first of all, they set about 260 plus runs, and they let a team that had struggling openers chase it down for only loss of 2 wickets. You know, so that on its own showed you that on the day the bowlers were absent, completely absent in the whole squad, because we can't blame the batters. The batters set 260, so which is normally in normal T20 cricket is a defendable score. So if you find your bowlers not being able to defend 260, then there's something wrong in the bowling unit. So because they're a dog that's coming from licking its wound, they are more deadly than the informed Delhi Capitals. Because if you to look at it, Gujarat Titans had a 8-9 all out situation just a few weeks ago, and the next game they dominated, pure dominance. So right now, I'm expecting the same from Kolkata to stamp their authority and say, you know what? Yes, we were humiliated before, but we're a good team. We're able to come back and stamp authority and say, we're a good team. We have good batsmen, we have good bowlers, and we're able to take this into the final if they make it to the final.
They make it to the final.
Any point you disagree with her?
I think the only thing I can add to it, maybe just to give more context to our viewers, especially when it comes to the power play. Um, Daily, depending on how things pan out, of course, limiting sort of how that comes across is going to be very important. So Delhi has taken the most wickets in the power play, right? But the economy is the second worst in the league. So they're leaking quite a lot of runs at the expense of taking those wickets at the same time. So if you are going to tell me that you are going to go there, yes, McGurk, those guys, they'll put up big runs. But now it's a question of, are you going to be able to outgun them? Because she rightfully pointed out 262, 261 runs in their last game, and it got chased down, but still 260 runs. It just shows you how potent they are. So I think that's going to be the key. If if Delhi's bowling unit can just get one of those prize wickets early on, because you need to break up that Salt and Nareen partnership soon. And I think we've seen it even with Sunrisers. I think Sunrisers is her team. If you get that three-headed monster, at least two of them out, they start running out of ideas. And it's like I pointed out with Aya and those guys a little lower down the order. There's not as much urgency as you might have liked it, because they're kind of relying on the top to perform. So that will be key for Delhi to win. And I'm picking them because I feel like both batting and I think bowling wickets are there. They just need to be able to cut out the runs from Kolkata.
Okay, so any interesting stats you want to share about the ground, Eden Gardens, or about the team, or about any particular player, if you have any
Well,
interesting stats to share with our audience?
All right, you can go first.
well, I noticed this after I spoke about how bowlers are going to be crucial in this match. Well, we know Eden Gardens is a betting paradise. We all know that, so we can expect anything about 200s, because most of the 200 scores have come from most of them, not all of them. So according to stats here, the Delhi Capital spinners have taken the most wickets, 21 in IPL 2024, and one of their key spinner is Kuldeep Kuldeep Yadav, who has dismissed Shreyas Iyer 3 times out of 7. So what are the chances that today he's going to be out on the same by the same person? So
So
that's a possible
it's going
matchup.
to be interesting battle between Shreyas Iyer and Kuldeep
And
Yadav.
Kuldeep Yadav. That is a possible matchup that I am also excited to watch. But
और
also, oh,
नहीं नहीं, तो बता दे दर्शकों को कि यहाँ पे बात चल रही है श्रेयस अय्यर और कुलदीप यादव के बैटल के. और आईपीएल 2024 में जैसे कि स्टैट शेयर किए कि सबसे ज्यादा विकेट जो दिल्ली की टीम से लिए गए हैं वो स्पिनर्स द्वारा लिए गए हैं, और कुलदीप यादव ने श्रेयस अय्यर को 3 बार आउट किया है. सो इट मींस कि इट्स गोइंग टू बी एन इंटरेस्टिंग बैटल बिटवीन श्रेयस अय्यर एंड कुलदीप यादव, बिकॉज ही ऑलरेडी took Shreyas Iyer's wicket thrice in the IPL. So it's going to be interesting battle. Any or another statics
Well,
stats?
another matchup that
Interesting battle.
yeah, interesting battle. Since we mentioned that the spinners might be very crucial in this match, I'm seeing Sunil Narayan take a couple of wickets, and the most interesting one would be to see Sunil Narayan bowl for Jake Fraser-McGurk. That would be very interesting to watch because, as far
Okay.
as McGurk is concerned, he does not care who's bowling, to be honest. And on most post-match presentations, Captain were asked about his betting. I remember Hardik Pandya also mentioned about his betting. He does not care who's bowling. It can be Bumrah and he will hit him for six. We saw Bumrah had the first over that he bowled was 18 runs, which is the highest this season for Bumrah. And it came from a 22-year-old. So it shows you that youngsters don't really look at the name. They look at what are you bowling? Can I hit it? Can I not? Should I let it or should I hit it? With McGurk, he just hits anything. So today, McGurk and Sunil Narayan will be a very interesting matchup. If Sunil manages to bowl for McGurk in case he doesn't go out in power play, then that will be a very interesting matchup to watch.
So another interesting battle coming up tonight is सुनील नारायण वर्सेस मैगर्क जैसे कि बात की उन्होंने. So ये एक interesting battle हो सकता है, बहुत ही prime form में है. How सुनील नारायण is going to bowl to the Australian youngster. If you have any interesting stat to share with us.
Well, I suppose there's only just one. Maybe I can just add in term just to that. So I think I spoke earlier about how the power play is going to be key. But if we're looking at death bowling in particular, right? Still, Delhi Capitals during that same period, they've got the most wickets, 15 overs, 15 to 20. They take 23. But at the same time, the economy is the highest as well. So I think then again, that's what I was talking about. It's almost all accelerator.
So it means all the stats are favoring Delhi Capitals
No,
today.
They are balanced.
It's there's two. You can look at it either way. Yes, there's lots of wickets, but there's lots of runs coming at the same time. How high
But they can also score a lot of
They
runs.
can
Delhi
also
can score. Delhi can chase. Like she just mentioned, ki we are expecting around 200 score tonight.
Yeah.
So Delhi can chase
They
it.
can chase it.
Delhi has a history. Delhi has a batting lineup to chase that.
But then, if any team that then chases at Eden Gardens has the disadvantage of having to play with dew. Dew becomes a factor and it gets higher as the night continues. So if there's dew, it's probably going to be very humid and very hot.
So it's going to be very tough for the team.
That's chasing.
So it's going to be tough for the team that is chasing because of the dew factor. This is the stats the lady has just shared with us. Interesting, stats we are bringing out from our guest. Those who have they are joining us. They are from Zimbabwe, and they are. I'm very much impressed that they are have in-depth knowledge about cricket and about our cricketers, especially Indians. One interesting news is about in a day or two, that is T20 squad,
Yes.
World Cup squad, Indian team. Speculations are high. We still don't know who is going to be in the playing 11 or in the 15-member squad.
I feel very sorry for the selectors though. Imagine the pool they have to choose from.
Imagine. I don't know.
It's a very tense one. But remember the other day when we spoke, I did mention that I feel like Abhishek Sharma should make it to the squad. Not because of his previous performances or anything else, whether he didn't deserve last year. No, because of what he's doing right
No,
now.
no, no. But I disagree with you because if we talk about Abhi Sharma, then we need to talk about Shivam Dube as well.
Yeah.
Shivam Dube should be in the playing. If not in the playing 11, at least in the 15-member squad. Shivam Dube deserves the place. Abhishek, you mentioned Abhishek. There are few youngsters as well. But what about the wicket keepers? This is the still question of concern. Who is going to keeping? Who is going to
I think if I'm to
keep
put
the
myself,
wickets?
if I'm to put myself on a selector's shoes,
Yes.
I would choose the wicket keeper with the highest number of runs. Not in IPL, but anywhere else in the world. IPL has different pitches and
So
everything.
you are hinting towards Rishabh Pant?
Yes, because I mean, when it's between Rishabh Pant and Sanju
Samson.
Samson. to be
pretty much.
honest. But then there's Rahul. He hasn't done nothing wrong. He's just been delivering runs.
So we have taken all the three names, all probables, but one name if you want to pick for the wicket keeping slot.
I would say Punch. That's
I'll say
me.
Punch.
I would take Punch.
So Rishabh Pant
Rishabh
is
Pant.
getting more number of votes, but still we have to wait for the final announcement from the BCCI. We are still waiting for the squad. Opener slot, you think Rohit and Yashasvi fix, or you think there might be a change as well in the opening stand?
I think it's you could pretty much sit it like that at this point, won't you? I think because you spoke about the thing about youngsters and this and that, but at the same time, like she kind of pointed out, who performs on the stage, who's performed at that, never mind IPL, but also just there as well, because you might also be looking at their form this season, but how much of it can translate on an international stage as well. So I would say it would probably stay like that. Maybe I stand to be corrected. It's going to be announced in the next day or two. But openers, yeah, I think we'll keep it at that for now.
I would do well. I'm a bit confused because if someone is not in form currently in T20 cricket in an era or age where 220 230 is just, you can't defend 230 anymore. I feel like I would rather have someone who can give me um 50 runs of 80 balls. The strike rate in this case is what matters according to me. Yes, Jaiswal he has 1 century, but out of 9 games, he's only performed once. And out of 9 games, how much has Abhishek Sharma performed? If we were to contrast the two, then we get the answer. But then you spoke of Shivman Dubey. The problem with him is he is exceptional in everything, but his betting position, you understand? His betting position has probably, if they move Virat Kohli up, there's Virat Kohli there. You can't. There's no World Cup without Virat Kohli, if I'm to be honest. Because if you have Jaiswal and Rohit, and then you have Shubman Gill at 3, then you have Virat Kohli at 4, which is Shivman Dube's position. So you cannot substitute Virat Kohli for Shivman Dube, I think. Maybe if he goes in as an all-rounder, and then if he goes in as an all-rounder, I would gladly drop Hardik Pandya and then go with Shivman Dube.
That's the big statement that she's dropping Hardik Pandya from the squad. अभी कुछ साल पहले ये बात हो रही थी कि हार्दिक पांड्या could be the captain of the Indian squad for the T20 World Cup. Now we are talking about of him getting dropped from the squad. See how the time
How time
changes.
changes things, right? And look, I was the biggest Pandya supporter here. I said I'll give him 2 games. Those 2 games, unfortunately, not enough was done. Probably, if you were to ask me right now, I might concur with her. The selectors, on the other hand, maybe they might look at it and say, "Oh, he's still got an X factor to bring, so he could still go." But that's now entirely up to the selectors. But on form, there hasn't been much to convince.
Okay, just not about the selectors. Would Rohit Sharma also take a call?
If he's the captain, yes.
Yeah.
If
Would
he's
he
the
would he select Hardik Pandya then?
No, if he's the captain, that's a straight no. Because
Why?
he has seen,
Why? We want to know why.
he has seen that team go down to the pits at the hands of Hardik Pandya. We're not saying he's the reason why Mumbai Indians is not performing or why they've been losing, but he's the greatest contributor or greatest factor in terms of their loss. So
Personal grudges?
none whatsoever.
It seems like it doesn't.
None whatsoever, because I mean, Mumbai Indians has the name, guys. They have all the names, they have all the batsmen, they have all the bowlers, but they're not, living up to their name. So who do we blame?
No. We want to know answer in one word. Why Rohit Sharma won't be selecting Hardik Pandya?
Well,
Because
because
personal grudges or just because of the performance? Only one word.
it might be a bit of both. I think
No, you need to choose
I had
one.
an
You need to
interaction.
choose one.
I had an
Choose
interaction
one.
with fans and
No,
fans
no.
think
You
there's a
choose
rush.
one.
Okay, maybe performance.
That performance is what I was going to go for. If anything, it has to be, because I think I would like to believe he's professional enough to see past any kind of grudges or anything like that. And and this is Team India. And if you're Team India, you want the very best, don't you? So if you're gonna make that hard decision, it has to be rooted purely on what you're seeing in front of you. And again, it's not like he's the worst or whatever, but the level that you are at, the level that you expected, and you are the captain of Mumbai, and there's Ichama and Puma and all of these people around you. Results aren't coming. Unfortunately, you are probably one of the guys that people are going to look at and say, well, maybe not this time. I don't know. We'll see.
So we'll continue to this discussion about the T20 World Cup squad. Let's come back to today's game, Delhi versus KKR. Let's take the prediction from you guys. Who is going to bat or ball first? Because there is a due factor, as she mentioned.
Yeah.
So if you are supporting Delhi, what do you want Rishabh Pant to select?
I would rather that they bat first. I think in situations like I've been talking about now, they seem to have stumbled into a winning formula. So I would say no, strike while the iron is hot. You know what you can do. You know what your McGurks and those guys can now bring along. Just put up a competitive total, and you know very well that you KKR for all of the batting plaudits with Nari and so we've been talking about how great they've been, but you can get at them. You really not need to just give them that pressure because remember they're coming from a loss. You put up a 230 plus score, they're gonna feel that pressure.
Possible?
Possible.
230 plus
I
score
think
possible?
possible if they bat first, I think it's possible they can get there. I think it's
So
possible.
the Delhi's capital is going to give you a target 230 plus, according to him. So will you be able to chase?
For the past 5 teams that have opted to bowl first, they've won at Eden Gardens. So I will bowl first and then use the dew that is going to be available later on to our advantage because for spinners it will be skidding a bit more. So they often
Earlier you
tend-
said the team chasing is going to be in very difficult
Now
situation.
I'm thinking-
Now you are saying
now
the
I'm
team
thinking, I've
bowling
changed my
first.
decision.
This is very confusing, bro.
The I figured that the stats said if you bowl first, then you are in a better position. Because I want Kukata to win, I'd rather have them bowl first and then bet win.
And just maybe to add context to what I was thinking about, RCB, they had a similar situation where the ground favored that they should probably bat second. But I think because they knew contrary to, sometimes it's better to run counter to what it is, especially if you're in a certain kind of form. I think that will now perhaps it can actually mess up your whole team's lineup that way. So I think that to me is my thinking. Bet on Fraser McGurk and those boys to put up a huge total. If they score anything less than that, it'll be hard. But I think they can reach it. I say 230.
Anything less than
anything less than
250 will be very difficult to defend.
250 is
That's
230 for me anyway.
For me, it's 250.
Okay, so let's move on to the last section, fantasy prediction. If you have to choose your fantasy captain, fantasy 11 captain, so who is going to be that key player?
I'm probably gonna go for Sunil Narine. I think both ends of the spectrum he gets it done. And if that's the case, my vice, I guess Fraser McGurk. Yeah, that'll be it.
Captain and vice captain, Captain Sunil and McGurk is going to be the vice captain for you.
Yeah, for me.
Okay, so let's.
For tonight, I think my captain will be Rishabh Pant.
Rishabh Pant.
Definitely. And then my vice captain would be Sunil. Yeah.
Why Rishabh Pant as a fantasy 11 captain? Because he's going to bat down the order.
Even if
He's
bets
not
down
going
the
to
order,
give that much of points.
he will give me the runs. The runs will give me the points. And the caught behinds, the stampings, all that he's very famous of. I'm backing Rishabh Pant to be my captain today. And then Sunil Narayan, because of both the bat and the ball, he's going to give me amazing number of points.
He has selected Sunil Narayane as his captain for the Fantasy 11 team and vice captain McGurk.
Yeah.
And she has opted for Rishabh Pant as the captain and Sunil Narayan as the vice captain. So the common is Sunil Narayan. So he's going to be the key player tonight because he can bat, he can ball, he can give you points with his fielding as well. So you can get a lot of points if you select Sunil Narayan. So that's it for today. And बताइएगा कैसा आपको लगा ये शो, हमारा डिस्कशन कैसा लगा, कमेंट सेक्शन में बताइएगा which team you are supporting today, Delhi or Kolkata, he's supporting Delhi tonight and she's supporting Kolkata, and he has predicted that Delhi is going to score 230 around and Delhi is going to bat first. She's saying that we can chase it easily. और बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग बैटल है पिच पे भी और यहाँ पे भी. बने रहेगा cricket.com.